there, this is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with another custom commission. This is the last figure for ACReinhardt, Nack the Weasel, also known as Fang the Sniper, if you prefer. The basic recipe for Nack the Weasel is almost the same as last time. Shadow's legs, Tails' torso, the Werehog's head, and some Sonic arms. This time I made sure that there was at least one holding thing hand, so that he'd be able to hold a gun. So let's get started on actually making the toy. Making Nack's head is a two-phase process. First, I built up the Werehog's cheeks, made the big old weasel nose, added that gigantic iconic fang, and molded on his weird-shaped ears. Oh, as well as, standing the head round, but I figured that went without saying. And then once all that hardened, then I could make the hat on top of everything. This way you don't accidentally smush the ears or the muzzle out of shape while you're putting the hat on. Then it just needs to be painted. And we all know Nack with his purple fur and his blue nose for some reason. Although I looked at every piece of artwork I could of him, and I cannot pin down what his official eye color is supposed to be. Sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's green, sometimes it's red. So I figured, I guess if I just left the Werehog eyes the way they were, it wouldn't really be off model. Okay, so let's go on to the other parts of him. This particular Nack uses Tails' body. I know the first time I made Nack, I used Shadow body, but people just seem to like it better when you use Tails' body. I think because it's more evocative of the slightly chubbier classic style, which is what most people who are Nack fans are nostalgic for. So I just had to sculpt on the bigger chest hair points, and I added Sonic's shoe buckle to be his belt buckle. This picture is right before I painted his belt in. But let's move on to the hands. Those little tongues that come out of Shadow's shoes, they had to be cut off to be made into Nack's shoes, so I repurposed them to be the things on the backs of his gloves. As you can see, he has one holding thing hand for a gun, and a fist, because I had to save the other holding thing hand for another figure, because holding thing hands are hard to come by and I don't want to waste them. And then that's painted too. Brown gloves, purple arms. Let's make his legs now. Nack's shoes are basically Shadow's shoes with enough sculpting on to hide the shape of Shadow's shoes. That's pretty much it. A big old chunky boot thing. Paint it up, and there you go. Now, Nack's tail. Nack's tail is so ridiculously long, plus it sits at that angle. The only real way to make it reliably is to do so after the figure has been assembled, or at least after you put the legs on the torso. And the little stand for my Wii U controller is actually perfect for establishing the angle. So let's see what he looks like when his tail is painted. And there he is, Nack the Weasel. Unfortunately, I didn't have a gun that would fit in Sonic's holding thing hand, so unfortunately there's no gun for this picture. ACR, if you have any guns in your home, the ones that fit in that hand are typically like the ones made for 6-inch figures, like Marvel Legends figures. The guns made for those characters' hands will fit in a Sonic hand pretty comfortably. I just don't have any on hand anymore. But yeah, he's Nack the Weasel, and it's hard to tell, but in that pose, his tail was not touching the ground, which is kind of cool. Alright, this is Wake Angel 2001 signing off. I'll see you next time.